Hello, I'm Warsaw Matt. I'm with Pertwee Van Jonathan Miles.
I am here
and
now,
we're here
yes.
we're here for the Hinchcliffe years, the seasons 12, 13 and 14.
Yes. Yes. Now then, season 12, set up by Terence Dicks and Barry Letts. If John Pertwee had stayed a 6th year, he would have played the Doctor in those stories.
An intriguing thought.
It is intriguing. Imagine him in Genesis of the Daleks.
I'm more intrigued about him in Ark in Space.
Doing the Homo sapiens speech.
Homo sapiens. I can't see that working. Yeah, go on.
It's a faultless season. I mean, well, not completely, but I mean overall it's one I've always loved it as a season. I've always adored it tremendously. Traditional unit story to open up the season with robots,
which is the swan song of the original regime.
Absolutely, and then moving on to Ark in Space, which I think every Doctor Who fan likes.
Got to be my favourite set of that season. Yes,
absolutely. Then the Sontaran Experiment, a simple little two-parter on Dartmoor, and then the classic Genesis of the Daleks. What can we say about that?
Oh,
Davros.
It's the first thing everybody thinks the first time we see the creator of the Daleks.
The creator of the Daleks.
I mean, you'd think by this time that, you know, what else can the show come up with that's revolutionary? And they really do come up trumps with it.
Very much so. I mean, for an example is the character of Nida, played by Peter Miles, and it's
dripping with the Nazi Germany.
Very much so.
Overtones.
I mean, his performance in that is chilling. It really is. But he's lovely in real life, completely different. So it just shows what a good
brushing real life
actor is. Yeah, that's it. And then we ended with Revenge of the Cybermen, with the Cybermen sort of doing this.
The camp Cybermen
on Vogar.
On Vogar, who seem to have American accents. Nice sense of irony. For a moment I thought he was going to light a cigar.
So quite a short little season. Then we moved to season 13. Began with Terror of the Zygons. Now, tell us why you like this. I know you especially like it, don't you?
This one's brilliant. It's because this one terrified me when I was a kid. The Zygons, scariest monsters
indeed
ever, as far as up to that point, because they dark, organic, just. There's nothing about them that you could trust, and they could be anyone. That was the brilliant thing. They could change into humans, so they could be anybody.
I know.
You know, so that's another way of getting the public to distrust one another, is to convince all the kids in the country that adults were Zygons.
Absolutely. They only had, I think, 3 costumes, but there was a scene where they said something like there's hundreds of Zygons in the next room, and they couldn't show it then because there's no CGI.
Yes.
But we utterly believed there were hundreds of Zygons.
It's just the way you keep on shooting. But I always have a special place in my heart because wonderful model work as well with Nessie.
Oh, the Nessie.
Yeah, the Loch Ness monster. And it was a nice one. The only complaint I have, it was the one that Harry Sullivan departed on.
That's right.
He just said, "No, I'm going to stay here."
I know.
And that was a bit of a shock, really, because I quite liked Harry.
Yes. Now I'm just looking through this season 13. We're certainly worthy of note is the excellent Pyramids of Mars and the Seeds of Doom.
Oh boy.
The Pyramids of Mars.
Yes, the one that made me a Doctor Who fan.
Wow. And it was the first one I owned on VHS back in 1988.
So it's definitely one that, and it's perfect for first timers as well.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Have you got any other highlights from the season? We had Planet of Evil as well, Android Invasion, The Brain of Morbius.
Oh,
Morbius.
Oh no,
by
that
Robin
one
Bland.
was brilliant.
Well,
by Robin
not
Bland.
really.
By Robin Bland and Bob Holmes. No, it was just Morbius was awesome,
wasn't he?
And yes, I mean Pyramids of Mars is always my favourite, and Zygons was terrifying, but Morbius was epic,
wasn't it?
It was absolutely brilliant.
And wasn't Philip Maddock just brilliant?
He was, yes, with the Welsh-rounded voice.
Tremendous voice.
Directed by Christopher Barry, who I've met.
You've met him, yes.
I've met him, lovely, lovely man. Lovely little
I'd like to meet him.
Yes.
And in Seeds of Doom, we were discussing earlier that there's quite violence in places.
It's very violent. It's more akin to a John Pertwee episode than most John Pertwee episodes.
Yes.
It's very out of character for the Tom Baker's Doctor to be that violent.
It is, actually.
And we never saw it again after.
No, we didn't.
Did we?
Not really. Not really. So, 2 great seasons there. We'll look at season 14. What are your highlights from this? I mean, for me, Leela.
Listen, what are my highlights from Leela? Yeah, don't ask. No, we've got there's several. We had Deadly Assassins.
We did.
We had Gallifrey.
We did.
We had the Time Lords back in their own story.
And there was no companion in that story, which is very unusual for Doctor Who.
It held together, but we had the heart-wrenching departure of Sarah Jane.
In the Hand of Fear.
Yes.
We did.
Which nobody expected, I don't think.
Not at all. And, yeah.
Robots of Death was quite good.
Robots of Death.
That was a good one, that was. It was Agatha Christie on her face.
Very much so.
And then we had the Talons of Weng-Chiang.
Oh, what a classic that was.
There's nothing to say bad about it. You got Jago and Lightfoot, who got their own series in the end.
Big Finish, absolutely.
Yes, it's just what a wonderful time for Doctor Who.
Oh, tremendous.
You know, a majestic point of Tom Baker's career.
Oh, tremendously.
Philip Hinchcliffe, Bob Holmes.
I know.
Yeah, you got
wonderful writer Bob Holmes.
Yes.
I love all of his Doctor Who stories, even the Space Pirates. I even like that.
We had Robert Banks Stewart. He did.
We did
a couple.
He did.
And it was just a brilliant time for. It was just perfect.
It was. Everything was perfect.
Nothing wrong. You could take those 3 seasons, watch them back to back, and I don't think anybody would find anything to complain about.
Not really.
There's very little you can mock in that season as well.
That's true. A very strong period for Doctor Who.
Dark, solid. It was stories of all calibers. The gothic horror elements as well.
Wonderful.
Which
I love it all.
Yes.
It's so different from the Pertwee era. Philip Hinchcliffe really put his mark on it.
Yeah,
made it different, but wonderfully different, I think.
Absolutely.
So there we go, the first 3 seasons of Tom Baker.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed them. So from Walsall Matt and Pertwee fan, it's tatty bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's good, isn't it?
It's been good, hasn't it? Yes.